I want you to stop saying I'm going to become my best version. I'm going to say therapy sucks, but there's some great tools. Therapy sucks you. There is a different kind of abuse, domestic violence, that can be a little bit more challenging to work with. I'm Cass.
And I'm Kathryn.
If you don't burn every bridge or every boat, you will fail. It's very near and dear to my heart. You're going to hear why. Fuck your family. And by the way, when I say family, I mean your blood. I mean your adoptive. I mean your friends.
We're MorrowMarriage.
Let's flip divorce statistics with the new marriage.
All right, positive, negative, and
Dun, 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 dun.
neutral. Go ahead.
I would like to right now coin the term narc out.
Welcome to the MorrowMarriage podcast, guys. And today we've got a good one for you today. I want you to stop saying I'm going to become my best version. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but guys, no shit. That's it. Simple. No shit. I'm not going to end the podcast right now, but that's how important this is. You no shit, you need to become your best version. All right, I want to talk about some of the things.
No, I think I'll just be 70% of my best today.
Yeah.
One of the things I say to my women, because people will say, don't strive for perfection. You can't get to perfection. And while that's true, you'll never get to the best you that you can be unless you strive for 100%. Try to be the best, the cream of the crop, the elite. That's how the elite become the elite. They tried to get there. They weren't like, oh, I'm not smart enough. Oh, I'm not capable. They're like, I can do that. Let me try. And so if you want to get to 100%, you might not ever get to 100%. But if your best is 83% and you aim for 60, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, you guys, you have to overshoot the target in every area of your life if you want to be the elite. What is this settling crap?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you're not settling because you're in a program, and every program says you got to be your best version. In fact, mine does too. But I just ripped my guys a new one last week going, well, no kidding. Why are you here, man? Okay. And we're going to talk about
So you do have to be the best version. It's just that that should go without saying.
Well, the problem is what you do is you lean on that and then you excuse yourself because you're not perfect, and you justify when you make a mistake or when it's hard because they don't accept your changes.
Mm-hmm.
And so you use it as a crutch for growth instead of actually growing, right? It's okay. I got a free pass. I yelled today, or I'm ashamed and I'm going to let that anchor me down. Man, we have Rob's reflection calls. I talk about Rob a lot because I'm really getting to
Well, he's here.
Yeah.
We met him in person.
His calls, his 3 calls because we do 24 calls a week and we're adding more next week, guys. Like, it's unheard of. No coaching program does this. Business, working out, health, or relationship, guys. It's unreal what we give. But Rob's reflection calls are probably the most powerful calls. Men bawl their eyes out. Rightfully so. You've never had an opportunity, or when you did it, it was out of fear of losing. It wasn't out of fear. It wasn't out of presence and strength and growth, you guys. And there's a massive difference in that. You talk about wanting to be your best version and you're saying, well, I'm not going to yell anymore. And then you feel so ashamed when you do yell. You tear yourself down, or again, you excuse yourself.
You justify yourself.
Yeah.
But I've done so well. I'm so much better than I used to be. We're only fighting every 3 days.
That's what I said.
That's
right?
our thing,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I was like, that's not normal. I don't care if we're only fighting every 3 days. I want more.
That's right. See, here's the thing. You segued perfectly, baby cakes. My wife is brilliant.
Oh,
it's not normal. We talk about this all the time. Normal is baseline. That's neutral, guys. And you guys try to climb out of the fights. Or if you're great roommates and you think, I don't get it. Everything's so great. We look so good on paper, outside looking in. We're awesome, but we don't have sex. It doesn't matter where you're at. You're striving for it. Well, I just hope we don't fight. I hope it's a good night. Oh, I just want to know she's not leaving or he's not leaving. I want to know it's going to be okay that they're not cheating on me or whatever. That's all normal. And it's because you're using best version as a crutch.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, how I have to accept right now, I will never be my best version. You will. I say we're lords.
You can never stop growing.
You can't.
You will always be better and better unless you don't want to get better and you get worse or stay stagnant. But you can never stop learning. You can always, no matter what it is, if you want to learn to play an instrument, if you want to learn how to take care of baby goats, whatever you want to learn how to do, you become more of your best self by learning how to do new things, which means it's an infinite, the world is infinite.
It is, because
baby goats
you guys,
also.
you guys get stuck Okay, so first I'm going to clarify this. So men in my program are called lords. We're getting that tattooed. I'm getting that tattooed today, and my mentors are doing that as well. You haven't decided.
Renee and I are going to do something. I don't know if we're going to do lady or what we're going to do, but we're going to
Yeah.
get matching tattoos.
So we're super excited. Now, lords are never done rising, and I'm not the only one who says that. I can't remember who I just read. It might have been Peterson. I just read something he wrote, and it might have been him. But it's not a common word when we talk about growth. People don't do it. They just talk about rocket. They talk about launch. They talk about growing into your best version, all this stuff. I say we're never done rising. I'm very, very clear about this because the problem is if you strive for baseline normal, the best you're going to get is a normal, whatever it is. And here's the problem with that. You get hyper focused on, well, I'm just going to be me. Maybe this leads into what, maybe if we separate, I can work on me right now and the relationship will get better. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to make less money right off the hop, right there. You're in the fog now, okay? You can't be your best version if you're in the fog, right? No, Cass, no. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to enroll in some courses and I'm going to start studying and listen to podcasts. Like, heck, I'm listening to yours right now. Cool. Where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of it? When we talk about the elite, why don't more people get excited about that? The elite have health and wealth typically, not all three. Where's the relationship? Or they have relationship and money. Okay, but they don't have their health. It's very few of the big ones, the big names that you're thinking of. Like Grant Cardone comes to mind. He has all three. Okay, it's very rare for everybody because you settle, because you don't like the pain of the hard one, because your best version is now justified, and then you blame your partner if it's a relationship, or you just, I like to eat, so that's why I look. Listen, I'm not judging you. I don't judge much on Saturdays. Okay, but here's the thing. I've done this stuff myself, you guys. Oh, I like smoking. Well, I do. I probably got to go back to the truth and accountability episode and go, where's the real truth there? I don't like that I cough all the time. You know, I don't like that I have a migraine feel when I've never had migraines in my life when I leave a CrossFit workout, you know? So there's ways to think about this, guys, that are much different. And if you want to continue to rise, you have to be, again, listen to the episode on truth and accountability. You better start really understanding where you're at. So at least you can have integrity, be a freaking window. Two of my core values, live like a diamond, integrity, and live like a window, transparency. Because without that, you're lying to your fucking self. You'll never be your best version, even though you now know that's impossible because you should never be done rising. And there should always be more goals, always be more for you, always be more for everybody in your life.
Not should, there is.
There is. We talked yesterday on one of the calls. I was just listening to one of my mentors, coach. And he said, Pete jumped in. And Pete was like, he does our nice guy calls. And Pete was like, hey, listen, think about all the impact that you're going to make on that person, blah, blah, blah. And I had to jump in. It was all valuable advice, but I had one more thought. And it was how I got to understand all this was realizing you don't even know who you're impacting. So you better be continue to rise, because whoever
you don't know who's watching you.
You don't know. You could be talking to someone at the grocery store. You might pull over the side of the road to help somebody. Doesn't matter. You meet somebody at church. It doesn't matter. You don't know their situation. I got off the plane coming from Africa, and a woman was bawling. And I said to her, hey, you all right? Can I help you with something? Right? And she said, I just sat hours on a plane with somebody who just told me I'm never going to change the whole flight. I said, what's going on? And she said, well, I'm sober now for 2 weeks. And she just told me I'm never going to change. I'm going to be, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Now, you think quitting alcohol means that she's going to be her best version? No.
But that's
it's
one of the
part
things
of
that
the
you
things.
need to do. You have to climb every rung of the ladder.
Yes.
You know, it's cliche to say that, but there's a reason that the ladder is used in so many different examples.
Yeah.
Because you can't just jump up to the top. Sobriety for 2 weeks, sobriety for 4 weeks, sobriety for a year, giving up whatever it is. You know, it's you can't change everything at once, because most people will fail if you change everything at once. But you can take little steps, make little changes. Sometimes you can make big changes. Some people make vast changes. That depends on who you are. You want it to be sustainable because you want to actually make the change.
That's right.
And speaking of not knowing who you're going to affect, I had a conversation with a lady at the homeschool co-op just a couple of days ago. And I was telling her a story about you. And she said, wow, this is confirmation. I needed to hear this. She's been married for 26 years. And she said, it's been hard. And she shared a little bit with me. And she said, this is the confirmation I needed to keep doing what I'm doing. I was having a simple conversation, pushing Riddick on a swing. You do not know who you're affecting. by making changes, sharing your story.
When the reflection happens, when they start to have an impact, when the impact is made, rather, you don't.
So keep climbing, keep doing what you need to do to get better, to get to that level of perfection that I know that we had a little bit of an argument in the last one where you were like, I'm going to debunk that.
Yeah.
The best version of yourself. He doesn't mean that you shouldn't be the best version of yourself.
I just mean
he
no
means
shit.
that, yeah, obviously you need to be the best version and you need to intentionally climb that ladder and continue to be better, because go back to the accountability and truth. When you can hold yourself accountable, that's when you start leading other people.
That's it. You can't lead your partner back to this new marriage. You trying to save your marriage. We create the new. The saving shit is garbage. Okay. You can't lead them if you can't lead yourself first. And the problem is you start to blanket the best version over everything instead of like realizing everything's just a stepping stone and there's always more, which means you just start to say, I'm awesome and you suck. Why don't you want to be with me? That's why you get frustrated when your partner doesn't follow. My big thing, once men understand patience in my program, I have a patience formula that I teach. The next step is, well, how proud of you are you? Right? And you know what? Almost every good man, the most successful men have said, well, you know what? I could be doing this better. Oh man, I could probably revisit that module more. You know what? I haven't been on one of those calls for a while. And geez, that's not your best version then. So stop saying you are. Start doing the best. Are you proud of who you are? Truth and accountability. Go listen to the other episode and then continue to strive forward. It doesn't mean that you won't be great. It doesn't mean that you can't be elite. It doesn't mean that you'll never get there. It just means that there is a level of true accountability. Let's put them together where you can actually start to see the success you want in all areas of your life. Okay? And then you don't get limited. Stop limiting yourself. Stop limiting yourself with the mind. Okay? That reminds me of one more thing before we end this. You had another man at the homeschool, one of the teachers, who struggling, so he has a smaller following me on social media, but it's still large. And he's never learned how to monetize it. He's never learned how to make that into a proper coaching business is really what we mean by that. He's never learned how to get his book out the way that I have. So we had a good meeting. I'm just meeting with him and I'm impacting him.
It all started by a simple conversation. So, and we'll have to end this because we're going to go on tangents, but this is what leadership looks like.
Yeah.
When you can hold yourself accountable, when you can keep striving, when you can keep doing more, because when you do more, you know what happens? You get confident in talking about it. And when you talk about it,
yes,
we wouldn't be talking about, I love the yes, ma'am. Love the Southern. We are confident in, fitness and health because we've done it for so long. So we can talk about it. When we talk about it, what happens? Rob starts to come. We're confident in business. We talk about it. What happens? We draw other people in that are using the tools that we're using because we hold ourselves accountable to certain levels. We still look to other people for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Maybe not a lot of things, but we are very humble and we know that there's a whole world above us, always trying to be better. But when you are striving, when you're growing, when you're building your skills, the confidence comes. When confidence comes, leadership starts to brew in you. Even if you're not a natural leader, there will be leadership qualities that will naturally grow. And when that happens, you are seen as a mentor. You are seen as a respected peer. You are seen as a leader. You're seen as a teacher, a tutor, a role model, and you get to speak about what you're doing and people will follow in those footsteps because they'll see that you just did it.
Oh, okay. I love that. So I'm just going to pick one of them. She talked about role model. We have a man in the program whose wife blocks him, unblocks him, blocks him, unblocks him, and when they started dating again, when they started becoming physically intimate again, when they started to progress forward, you know what she said? I love how you're role modeling and leading those young men. Doesn't matter what he's doing. Just understand he's doing it. He's taking the tools that Kathryn just said that we teach and he's impacting. And now the changes she knows are real. They're moving forward.
This goes back to you don't know who's watching you. She blocks him. We never could have known that she was watching him behind the scenes.
But if you follow the step-by-steps or listen to the advice in the podcast, if you really get into the program, follow the step-by-steps, guys, it works. It does. But see, that's why we can clarify, quantify, and we're not always humble when we talk about the new marriage because we did it.
We're proud.
Health, wealth, relationship, and we're still striving. We keep talking about the next level.
We're proud and we're honored to be able to lead you guys and to have you come along with us and join us and hopefully surpass us. That's the goal. It's for you guys to get even better at everything we do than we are.
Yeah, I love that.
Prayer 5.
All right, guys. Prayer 5 out.
See you guys next time.
See ya.